All right, like I said, before you know it, welcome back to UKSG Blue 2023. This event, we're raising money for Crisis. You can donate with the links below the stream. We would also like to shout out ESA and BSG for their continued support. And of course, tell your friends, tell everybody, there's more speedrunning content here. So by all means, come over and get some donations in for an incredible cause. Now, Eris is back with another run.
Hello.
We alluded to it earlier in the Yono run, but it is time now for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 by Eris. So good luck and take it away.
Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Eris. I finally get to speedrun an FPS game. Hopefully I get to finish this one, but no promises. Yeah, I'll just get right into it and then I'll start explaining some things. Time starts in a second. Ready on time. Now. Alright, so there's a lot about this game, but also it's very long and it has a lot of cutscenes and auto-scrollers, so I'll use them to explain. Right now what I'm gonna do is just follow the tasks that I'm being assigned. Immediately missed the escape key on my keyboard. So we're just shooting at targets here. It's pretty easy because they're always the same. So as long as you do what you're told, everything will work out fine. As long as you hit them as well. Probably need to increase my sensitivity a little bit. But I'll figure that out. Now we just shoot the target through this piece of wood here, and then throw a grenade. And that was a miss. Incredible. Anyway, that's good. There we go. Okay, if you notice something is a miss, you would be wrong. Everything is exactly as the game came out. There are no mods in this game, except for the mod that gives me my velocity and my difficulty. We're playing any percent on Recruit, which is just standard any percent, as opposed to any percent Veteran, which just makes it incredibly hard and unfair to the player. And you're gonna see me do some movement here, but I will explain it during the next mission, because I kind of just don't have time here. And now we go here to the pit, where Corporal Dunn, clearly, tells us the legendary line, switching to your secondary is always faster than reloading.
Do me a favor, try switching to your sidearm.
Wait for it.
Remember, switching to your pistol's always faster than reloading.
There it is. And now we have to run the pit, which is basically an obstacle course, or like a shooting drill, for General Shepard, and he's gonna be super impressed, and we're gonna join basically the CIA undercover ops. I'll try and like guide you through the story. It's not the easiest story, especially when I skip all the cutscenes. Oh, my mouse binds are inverted. Amazing. Anyway, I have to basically just shoot 16 targets at least and not kill too many civilians, which I did not do. That was not a good pit at all. But Dunn is impressed as always and suggests that I play on Veteran, and I immediately reject his suggestion and switch the game back to Recruit. Because I'm bad at video games. So, first mission done. First mission called SSDD. I cannot tell you what that stands for, because it's rude. Anyway, meet General Shepard, clearly. Yeah. Okay, so movement tech. I have some time to explain and demonstrate here. So this engine is based on id Tech 3, which is Quake 3. So it has some remnants of strafing. It doesn't have air strafing, but it does have ground strafing. So if I run, I hold W and a strafe key and then turn into it, I will gain speed, and you can see it in the velocity meter. And if I jump off of that, I can gain even more velocity, and hopefully I can get the velocity meter to go red. I can't do it here for some reason. And then, contrary to popular belief, guns in this game are either fast or slow. There's no like mixed speeds. So some guns make you run fast and some guns make you run slow. The slow guns that you will encounter during the campaign are generally just assault rifles, except for the AK-47. But if you have an attachment, such as the grenade launcher here, on a slow gun, and you bring it out, the gun becomes fast. It makes no sense. So I'll demonstrate this in a minute after I eliminate these targets. There we go. So if you look at my base running speed, with this rifle it's 256-ish. With the grenade launcher, it's 284. It makes no sense. So if I want to go fast and I have this in hand, I will just whip out the grenade launcher or switch to the secondary. Most other guns, all rocket launchers, all... Did I not kill enough people? Yeah, I did. Okay. All grenade launchers, all like super heavy machine guns, they're all fast. But an M4 is slow for some reason. So, first auto-scroller of the run. Get used to it because there's so many of them. This is a 1 hour 40-ish minute run. Like, but it's really like a 30-minute run with a cape on. Like it's really not actually that much gameplay, or not as much as you would think. But still, it's pretty good.
Would you like me to read something out in the meantime?
Please do, yes.
Absolutely. Well, we do have a $5 donation from YTP Renewed, watching in chat here, saying, it's like Gun Gale Online all over again. I don't know what you're talking about. This is a completely normal version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you for the donation, taking us to a nice around $1,200 and just under $150 away from beating the donation total for Winter 2019, an event from long, long ago. So if you want to help us bump this event's total up just a little bit more, keep those donations coming. Let's meet some great incentives. Back to you, Eris.
Thank you, thank you. So, still in auto-scroller, so I have some trivia for you. So, as you can see, all of my allies, perfectly normal-looking US Rangers, but they all have names. These names are all developer names. And one time, I saw Corporal Lastimosa, and if you've played Titanfall 2, you know that Ty Lastimosa is a character, and so I was like, oh, cool, an Easter egg. No, first of all, Titanfall came out after this game. I kind of didn't realize. Second of all, half of Infinity Ward, who's the studio that made this, split and became Respawn Entertainment. So Ryan Lastimosa is just a lead artist on both games, and it took me like a very long time to realize that. So if you play Titanfall, you might recognize some names here and there, because they named characters in both games. That's pretty cool. Anyway, first mission called... I forget what this mission is called for some reason. But anyway, I don't have to shoot anyone, except for people in cars, but we're not gonna meet them yet. So I'm gonna be a good pacifist here and not shoot anybody that I don't have to shoot. So we're gonna get cut off by one car here, and I'm just gonna kill the gunner, but I'm gonna be very careful not to make the car explode, because that's kind of just the only thing that can kill me. And then same with this car here. Just gonna kill him, just so I can be safe. Okay, maybe I will shoot. It's kind of fun. So now we're gonna get stunned because we get shot by an RPG, but I kind of failed that. If we get flashbanged while we're in a stun state, it kind of just cancels out the effect and makes you recover faster. And now I'm gonna basically make my way through the whole level with guns that I know are fast, try strafe, and avoid melees. So the one thing that is really dangerous is enemies meleeing you. They will KO you immediately, and the checkpoints in this game are not exactly forgiving. And also, I kind of have to reload this gun, and not in the best situation. There we go, I'll take the reload. And now we're making our way to the end of the level, where we meet General Shepard, clearly. And he starts talking to us, but I don't really care, so I just flashbang him, and he stops talking. It's not faster, it's just funny. So a bit more about strafing. You can strafe both ways, and there's no difference between them. A lot of players strafe only in one direction, and a lot of players also strafe in both. I am terrible at strafing from the left for whatever reason. Like, it really just escapes my brain capabilities. So I only strafe for the right for the sake of being fast. Like, I could do it both ways at some point, and then I got really, I say really good, I got better at strafing from the right, and my other side just never caught up, so I just strafe in one direction now, and it's a little bit slower, I guess, but it doesn't really matter. So now we're doing Cliffhanger, this incredibly iconic mission that I'm sure a lot of you remember if you played this when you were younger. But turns out you can just walk past Soap, who is the guy that's accompanying us, this guy here. And you can just like walk around him and start climbing before him. That's a pretty cool skip. It saves a lot of time because he is very slow. You paid for this.
I think I should probably have mentioned the incentive at the start of the run, but
No.
I think the surprise factor is much, much more gratifying.
Yeah. What incentive? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, we're gonna immediately switch to the USB because the ACR is slow. And now you're gonna be like, Eris, your strafes have become terrible. I mean, yeah, kinda. But also, there is a snowstorm in this level, and so the game applies a speed buff, or actually a speed nerf to me. And the game does this a lot, and it's incredibly annoying, but we're just like, our base speed is just reduced by a certain amount. So like a good strafe for me here would be like 320 upwards. Would be a good speed to get. Try jumping over that jeep, but kind of fumbled it. Also, this is a stealth mission, but it absolutely does not matter if we get caught. So obviously I just ran past everyone and everyone is chasing me, but it doesn't really matter. So to catch up on story a little bit, the first two missions we played in the shoes of Private Allen, who is just a US Ranger in Afghanistan. And now we're playing as Roach, who is a Task Force 141 agent, soldier, I guess. And he's behind enemy lines, finding a downed US satellite. Yeah, very complex story, I know. I killed that guy because otherwise Soap, who is also Captain McTavish, who is also Scottish, by the way, so, yeah. Scotland? Yeah. Who is also played by Kevin McKidd, who also has a role in Grey's Anatomy, so, fun fact. Thank you. But yeah, anyway, we planted C4 on the fueling station, and now obviously everything goes haywire, so we make it detonate. And then instead of helping Soap or McTavish clear for the enemies, we just kind of strafe past everyone. And now I have my full speed back, so hopefully I can get some strafes that make my velocity meter go red. Or not. You know, 360 is fine. There we go, went red a little bit there. So if you hear an enemy kind of scream at you, it means that they're charging a melee. And that's really scary, because if they hit you, you're probably dead. And that's not good. So sometimes you will see me like kind of camera panic when I hear screaming, and that's why, and I'm just trying to dodge. Gonna get on this snowmobile, gonna wait for it to do like this little movement, because if you're close to it and it does like that little step, you get one shot and you die. Don't know why that happens. And now we're gonna play through this very iconic section of the game. Just drive the snowmobile. I know when I was like 9 and I was playing this, because I am very young, I was taken aback. It was pretty cool. But yeah, there's nothing happening, and I don't even have to shoot anyone, so if you have any messages, it would be a good time now.
Very good, yes. Well, we do have one $20 donation from Tombo, who started our event with the opening run. What a great game, and it's exactly how I remember. I know, right? Tombo speaks my language. Good luck with the run, and thanks to all the tech that worked so hard for my run this morning. thank you, Tombo, for the opening run and for being so patient with us while we were experiencing a few growing pains. But yeah, that donation is going towards choosing Egon as the Ghostbuster in the Ghostbusters run, and $10 more towards the 2-player 1-controller bosses, which now needs just $70 more to be met. So keep it going. Let's get some 2-players 1-controller action. Back to you, Eris.
Thank you, Tombo. Right, this game is kind of a menace because I swear it keeps getting louder and louder. Can you guys turn it down a little bit for me still? Thank you. Also, this game, massive AAA success. It doesn't have like a volume slider besides the master, so if you want to turn off the music, you have to rename a folder in the game. So, what I just did there in the menu was skip No Russian, which is that one mission that everyone got mad about. And yes, the 4 guys with you are all anime girls, and it's really, really like weirdly funny, but I can't show you because it's slow. So now we are now we are as Roach still in Brazil, trying to find some arms dealer, and I will kind of explain that in a little bit. Anyway, this guy runs away, and we are supposed to chase him. Rest in peace. You are supposed to chase him and shoot him in the leg, or we could be a real Call of Duty player and just do that. I just hit him through the building. And I hit his leg through the building, so. And so now I'm gonna run through the favela, kind of trying to ignore everyone and trying to use only one clip of the shotgun because reloading is slow. So I don't have to kill anyone, but if someone is in the way, I will. And also I will shoot dogs, or at least one dog, because they are fast, dangerous, and they stun lock you, and they are really, really annoying, so... Sorry. I knew it. Also civilians, obviously you're not allowed to kill them, and the game will fail you. If you do, I might die here. No, I'm fine. Oh, never mind. Hello, console? Okay. I restart. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. I meant to do last checkpoint. I restarted the mission by accident. Anyway, I can tell you about the story. So, at the airport attack, you are Private Allen, the guy that was in Afghanistan, undercover with the CAA. But Makarov, the bad guy, knows that you are undercover, so he kills you at the end. And so Russia finds an American responsible for a terrorist attack in Russia, and they invade the United States, and that's how this whole story plays. So you kind of go between troops in the US and Roach around the world. Of course, I miss him this time. Last checkpoint. That was a bit of a goof from me. I am sorry for that, but hey, at least you get to see this again. Obviously. First try, right? Hello? Leg? Let's... What? Am I shooting in the right spot? Polyster, if you want to read something while I try and figure this out.
Yep, I'm gonna fill the void here. Here's $20 from the DM Panda answering my call in chat to have something to read while I'm here hosting. Here is 20 to incentivize CD Romtrum to throw the first match of the blind bingo against me. No? Oh well, it's nice to see so many faces I recognize. Here is to raising as much money as possible for this amazing cause. Thank you to everyone who helps make these events happen, XD. And of course, DM Panda referencing the Bingothon X UKSG collaboration for the blind bingo races that are happening soon DM. So stay tuned and watch this space. We'll have more news on that in good time. But yeah, we are now getting some leeway or some headway into the Baba Is You alternative ending incentive. $10 going towards that. And another $10 going towards 2P1C bosses for MGS3. $60 to go for that, and $60 to go, coincidentally, for $1,300. So keep those donations coming. Let's hit both of those milestones, folks. back to you, Eris.
Thank you, everyone. So this really shouldn't have taken as much time as it did. But hey, alas. So, what I did there was look away briefly to avoid the whole sequence being in slow motion. It saves a little bit of time. I am gonna have to change my sensitivity real quick because I need to blame the game, not myself, for something. Anyway, we are getting into the mission of all time. Where am I going? Look, yeah, very good. I keep it in the console bind, which I didn't know was a thing, so I guess the more you know. So the mission is called Wolverines. We are now Ramirez, iconic for the meme, Ramirez do something. Because Sergeant Foley, who I think is that guy in the backseat, that, you know, US Marine, just keeps shouting orders at you. Anyway, this mission can go wrong very, very fast, and I didn't mean to throw that. I kind of haven't learned all the backups and all the contingency strats, but it will be fine, because I don't mess it up that often. Also, you know, my estimate is big. I can afford to do this, surely. This sensitivity slider is unreasonably bad. It's like so small for no reason. But hey, AAA in it. Anyway, if you remember the legendary Burger Town, this is the mission. And we will defend the Burger Town. Just gonna run past these soldiers. I can shoot them to make them not melee me. Then I'm just gonna ignore everyone. I'm gonna try and get to the Roof of Nades, which is this restaurant here, as fast as I can to pick up a sniper rifle and a sentry gun. The sniper rifle is more of a backup, and it's also a fast gun, so I don't have like only the M9 here as my fast weapon, because the Scar, my primary rifle, is slow. And now I'm gonna wait for Corporal Dunn to say this line. There we go. That basically clears me to go. And place this sentry gun here, which will help me massively later. It kind of just does a lot of work for you. And then I'm gonna start strafing to, I think it's the gas station. I'm not sure where it actually is. Or like the gas station diner. Where like an enemy UAV operator would spawn, but as it turns out, he doesn't actually spawn. So now Sergeant Foley said, looks like I haven't said enough, and that's my cue that I did everything correctly. Don't ask me what everything is, because I don't know exactly what causes him to not say the line. But anyway, I'm now waiting for the UAV terminal to spawn, and I'm gonna use it immediately against these two vehicles. And then I'm gonna book it to the Burger Town. And now Foley said that line, so that means I'm still doing everything right. And I have about, I want to say 20 seconds to clear the Burger Town of enemies. So I just need to basically clear it of everyone as fast as I can. And the fact that there's an ally there kind of means that I did. Yeah, there we go. And now some enemies are gonna come out of here. I'm gonna kill them. That's all good. And then I'm gonna book it to the gas station here and just clear them up a little bit as I go. But it's not super important. Like if I meet some people, I will just kill them. In the meantime, Sergeant Foley is transporting like a VIP or an HVI, sorry, to the Burger Town to secure him. I'm gonna use a Predator missile on those enemies so that Foley can cross safely. More than cross safely, cross fast, because otherwise he'll stop and shoot. So that's kind of slow. Refill my ammo, and then just camp it at the bus station. But obviously the bus isn't coming. And now we wait. So if you have anything to say, this is a pretty good time.
Well, I can tell you, friends, one and all, thank you for helping us raise $1,240 so far for Crisis. We're moving on up our donation total, and we're just over $100 away from beating the donation total of Winter 2019, and not much more than that from beating the Spring 2020 donation total. So yeah, let's move this event up the ranks of all past UKSGs. Maybe we can get a lot of donations here for an incredible cause. But yeah, I would also at this point like to shout out our friends over at ESA. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, which chances are you're probably watching through that same channel right now, they're sharing gear and technical assistance. ESA Winter 2024 is right around the corner, kind of, on the 17th to the 24th of February of next year. So tune in on this very channel on those days to check all that action out. Eris, back to you.
Thank you. So what I did there was eliminate 3 waves that can spawn in one of 2 locations, either the bank or I think it's a taco joint, I'm not too sure. And then after those 3 waves, I tried to use the Predator to eliminate one of the helicopters, but I failed that because I think I was a bit too slow previously. I'm not entirely sure why that didn't work. But anyway, I'm just gonna shoot the helicopters down with this javelin here, or whatever this launcher is. And the helicopter is not even in the map yet, and it can only crash when it's in the map, so it will basically like spin on fire all the way into the map and then crash. But now the mission is essentially done, and I'm just waiting for it to end for me. So I'm gonna book it to where I know the ending is, where we get picked up by a friendly convoy. And that was Wolverines. That was actually pretty good, all things considered. In the practice run that I did, it was an absolute disaster, and I lost maybe 10 minutes to it. So this is actually about as good as it is in my PB, I believe. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And now I have this lineup where I just stand in the cycle lane, line myself up with that wheel, and there we go, almost perfect. We got Corporal Gumpert driving us around. Okay. Anyway, the mission is over, so we're just waiting for dialogue to play out. I'll take a sip here. And this is also the end of Act 1, 1 of 3. So, we're playing as Roach again. And we're in the favela after interrogating Rojas, who is there, by the way. This mission sucks, because the way it assigns checkpoints, I think it's like based on the damage you take. So sometimes it just does not give you any checkpoints, and if you die, you just respawn here. And that's not good. But what I'm gonna do is just strafe for the favela, ignoring everyone that I can, dodging the cars here, and that guy was gonna be in my way. Then I'm gonna switch to the pistol. There's a guy here that I will kill. Then everyone else is not important and should not get in our way too much. My strafing is not amazing right now, but it will do. Also, one thing I can do is crouch me there while strafing, and that makes me smaller, so it makes me a little bit harder to hit. Incredible timing. Okay, that's a pretty forgiving checkpoint actually, so I'm lucky. But yeah, like if you're red screened and a lot of enemies are behind you shooting you, crouching while b-hopping or while strafe hopping is actually kind of a good idea. Some people just do it all the time. I kind of haven't gotten used to it, so I need to like do it consciously. And this is literally melee heaven, so I need to get quite lucky and just be careful of who I have around. And here are my teammates, which I can stop by shooting in front of them so that they can let me through, because otherwise they will slow me down. Now obviously my running speed is decreased. Gonna pick up this AK-47, which is the one fast assault rifle. Gonna do this straight jump here. Kill these 4 guys. And then do this door jump, that's very nice. I failed that quite a lot. And now what's supposed to be happening is that you're basically running behind your team, and they all make this jump and you don't. And there's like a whole cutscene where you grab the ledge and Soap tries to grab you and you fall, and that's like 10 seconds long. And I can skip all of that by just strafing into the gap and just hitting the street without hitting the ledge. And now we have the Mirror's Edge segment here. So I managed to sneak the game in somehow. So we have no gun anymore and we're just running. And for some reason, when I don't have a gun, my strafing gets much worse. Like, it's not the game, it's just me being bad. So I just noticed that my hands also change with the mod. I never realized. Yeah, what mod? Yeah, I mean, what? There's like a few cool strats I can do here, like landing on this to save myself from a hard landing, and then just landing straight on the slide. And then we book it to the helicopter. And that's the Hornet's Nest done. And what follows now is, I think, the second most boring mission in the game. So, yeah, there's a lot of strafing and a lot of waiting, which is kind of the whole game, I guess. But you know, it's worse in this one mission. And surprise, we are Ramirez again. So Ramirez, do you have any messages for me?
Yep, I do. Well, folks, like I said earlier, we're currently standing at $1,240. If you want to help boost up that number just a little bit, here's how you can do it. You'll see the panel below your stream that says donate. Just click that donate button and it'll take you straight to the donation page. Put your desired amount, and while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and attach it to an incentive of your choice. You can choose the Ghostbuster in the Ghostbusters run. You can choose which Devil May Cry game we're playing up next. Devil May Cry 2 is in the lead, but if you want to see one of the other two games being played, you should probably get your donations in for those to make a definitive decision for our runner to play. But yeah, then you click on donate, PayPal will come up, and you can choose the, choose your preferred method of payment and get that donation in. The more the merrier, and I'm sure Crisis will be very, very thankful for all of the donations we are collecting during this weekend. Would you like me to keep going, Eris?
If you have anything, yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, at this point I would also like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands and have supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on in past events, among other things. All of their mainline events are streamed on this channel, so keep an eye out if you want speedruns from the best of the Benelux. And yeah, that's back to you, Eris.
Thank you. So I basically strafed my way through the neighborhood. This mission, like casually, is kind of actually cool to play because you have like a laser designator that you can aim at targets, and then this armored vehicle will shoot at them for you, and it's actually pretty cool. It functions very well, but I don't care. I am the armored vehicle and the F1 car at the same time, I guess. So I just sprinted for a neighborhood, and then I have to wait for my teammates who have not sprinted. I mean, they are sprinting for a neighborhood, but obviously they're not strafe jumping through the neighborhood. There's a few things you could do here. One of them is like going back and hitting like a dialogue trigger and then returning fast enough so that your teammates teleport a little bit. And I tried learning that and I got it a few times, but some people have gotten it down to a science. I haven't, and I kind of haven't figured it out. And there's another out of bounds skip, and that's just dummy hard to do. So I did not even try. But yeah, we're waiting for one man in particular, who is Sergeant Foley. You will recognize him by his distinct US-provided military gear. But yeah, we just have to wait for him. He is the trigger for the mission to proceed. But yeah, the mission is over. Like, we're just gonna get in there, have some dialogue, and that's the mission. There's Sergeant Foley. So you can see standard US Ranger, nothing to see. And when he gets inside here, I will go up. This guy's immensely in my way. Anyway, we're here to find a very important person that is dead, so too bad we failed. But hey, it happens. And we're just gonna pick up this briefcase. There we go. And now the mission is just gonna end by itself. Who's winning?
Get a couple of photos for G2 and check the bodies for intel. Shepard's not like this. Oh Lord.
Anyway,
You guys did.
that was the second most boring mission of the game, in my opinion. And now we have an auto-scroller, but yeah, woo! There's a lot of them in this game. Too bad. But we are scuba diving in proper scuba diving gear, which is pretty cool. We are playing as Roach again, and yeah, we're gonna take over an oil rig, and it's a pretty cool mission. It has a bunch of tech and also a bunch of things that can go very wrong. So hopefully nothing bad happens. But yeah, as you can see, we are breathing underwater by some miracle here. And there's no way to skip this. The community has a speedrun mod, which basically removes all the auto-scrollers and all the cutscenes, and they treat it as a separate game because like it introduces completely different skips. And some people really hate it, I've heard, so I don't know. But the run is like an hour shorter, or like just over an hour shorter, I guess, or just under rather. Also, it's so funny that the characters are like too small, so that they don't actually scale and they don't grab onto anything, but you know, small oversight, I guess. And also through this whole mission, my speed is nerfed quite a bit, so I'm just gonna be running or strafe jumping very slowly around, which is kind of annoying because the strafe mechanic doesn't actually change, but like my brain like thinks it does, so I just strafe worse. It's very weird. Anyway, we're gonna kill this poor guy. And then we're gonna kill another guy. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the game, but you know. Gonna eliminate this guy and then whip out the grenade launcher because it makes us run faster. Just gonna strafe up the stairs, strafe this jump, and then breach. And then I'm gonna switch my weapon really fast before I start shooting, so that oh no, okay. Oops. Oh, that's bad checkpoint. So if you switch your weapons or reload during a slow motion breach, the game takes you out of slow motion faster, and that's gonna be a recurring strat. But maybe I need the slow motion because I'm bad at shooting apparently. But as you can see, as soon as I switch, the game takes me out of slow motion. I'm gonna try and be peasant to the stairs because otherwise it kind of just blocks you. And sometimes it just becomes an Olympic sprinter and like is already halfway up the stairs by the time you get there, and it's really, really annoying. Anyway, another breach. We're gonna do the same thing, just switch quickly. So I'm gonna switch, and then shoot these guys first because they are gonna try and kill an hostage. And then just shoot the other guys. Gonna pick up an SMG here because it's fast and it has a lot of bullets and it can get me out of awkward situations. Then we're gonna plant this C4 here, but instead of actually setting up an ambush, we're gonna do a little bit of rear tech. So a guy is gonna spawn there, and I'm gonna shoot him in the leg, and that causes this gate to open a little bit sooner, and I have no idea why, but it's... oh, never mind. It still worked anyway. I'm gonna throw a flashbang to try and stun everyone and find a line through. And also I'm gonna make a point and try not to kill people that I don't have to kill, because that causes less enemies to spawn later on, which is pretty useful for me. I think the game just has like an entity cap or so. Oh my god, an entity cap or something, and I'm so dead. Yep. That's not too terrible of a checkpoint, I guess. But yeah, this section is pretty unforgiving. If you don't find the correct line immediately, you will get meleeed and you will die. You can dodge melees by crouching like at the right time in front of them, but it's kind of hard to do, especially under pressure. This guy's in the way too. Oh well, I killed way too many people, but that's fine. As you can see, there's a lot of enemies here already. Usually there's no one there. And now I have to basically fight in the smoke without thermal sights. I was given thermal sights at the beginning of the mission, but I traded them for the P90, because the P90 is faster. So now I'm just gonna try and guess where the enemies are. I mean, they're not total guesses, but... and hope that the game decides that I've killed enough to be able to breach. There's a guy there. Very good. That was actually decently fast for my standard. And then breaching reloads your gun for you, so you don't have to like wait and reload, which is pretty convenient. And that's the mission done. And now the last bit of RNG is how long Soap takes to actually reach the helicopter, because the helicopter won the part without him. But he seems to be pretty fast. Yeah, there we go. So that's pretty good. And then we're gonna take off and play the next mission, which is called the Gulag, which some of you might remember as kind of grueling and unforgiving. It has a breaching section that's actually quite violent and, well, I say violent, it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just unforgiving. The enemies will hit you and melee you all the time, and if you want to do it fast, it's even harder because you just need to get through like a wall of enemies. But you'll see that in due time. There's a lot of pretty cool tech in it though. There's also a skip that's really hard and saves like not a lot, but I'll try it anyway. It can't go that wrong, right?
30 seconds.
Anyway, another cutscene, so get used to it, I guess. But we are in the middle of Act 2, so we are about halfway in, I want to say. I don't know, I never know for sure. So, like, I just find myself at the end of the game at some point. So,
Would you like me to jump in with a couple donations?
yeah, sure.
All right. Well, here's $15 from Brasco with
Brasco!
Just saying XD. And that money is going towards the alternative ending for Baba Is You, which is now $275 away, which is great stuff, and I hope we can keep it going. We also have $10 from Nanaki Emi. This one's directed at you, Eris.
Oh no.
And it's going, Eris, you are clearly having far too much fun shooting random stuff that isn't part of the mission. Seriously, what did that chess set ever do to you? Loving the run though. Keep it going. P.S. Did anyone get the Iron Brew yet? I can tell you, I mean, we did have a few isolated bottles of Iron Brew, but I don't think anybody got the big packs of cans. So I think I imagine somebody's gonna rectify that by tomorrow. But yeah, thank you both for your donations. Back to you, Eris.
Thank you. Also, hi, Brasco. But yeah, what I did there was first miss a bunch of shots, but the cool thing that I did, not the lame thing that I did, was shoot for like a tarp, and that just wall banged 6 enemies, and that allowed me to clear the tower way faster than you would be able to normally. So that's pretty cool. And then the third tower just gets bombed, and then the Scottish people get mad at the Americans. But yeah, we're elite soldiers being deployed here, clearly. We are here to find a certain prisoner 67 who turns out is a very, very loved and famous character. And what I'm gonna do here is try and just clear this section here so McTavish can actually get through fast, because otherwise he'll stop and fight. So I just have to be faster than McTavish here, essentially. That's what really matters. I'm gonna pick up an AK because it's fast and it's better than a sniper rifle. Gotta make sure I kill everyone. Oh, that's McTavish. I almost killed him. That's not good. We're not being exactly fast. Also, none of these guys are dying on the first shot, but that's fine. And now we have to do more waiting. Who would have thought? But it's not super boring. We can actually engage in a gunfight here, which just makes it a little bit more convenient for me afterwards, because I don't have to face these guys head on. I can just shoot them from the comfort of this space here, I guess. And I kind of want to get an SMG. That should be here. Yeah, there we go. Just for convenience and clip size.
Doesn't that mean being one of these cells? Ghost.
And now we have a little bit of
Get it open.
Ghost goofing around.
Hardware is ancient.
Ghost, you opened the wrong door.
Pretty funny how it's the wrong door.
Got it.
But yeah, there's a skip coming up here, which I am 101% not gonna be able to hit, but I'll try anyway. It doesn't lose time if I don't get it anyway. It's just a really hard strafe jump that I have to do. It's called, I think it's just called Gulag Skip actually.
Got it. Push the 627's been transferred.
But yeah, I'm gonna try. So basically what I wanna do is get down here and then try and get back up. And I am embarrassing at strafing, so I will never, yeah. Okay, I'll stop trying. But what you would do is climb back up that, go back, land on top of this, and then just go forwards.
Squad's converging on your position.
And you just skip this whole like fight where we're locked in into this like armory section. Now I'm gonna wait for Ghost to say hardline,
Bloody hell.
and when he does, enemies are gonna spawn there,
I'll have to run a bypass.
and I'm just gonna kill them all, which is very convenient. It's funny because you can see them spawn in, like you can see their guns clipping through, but you know. We're just gonna defend ourselves here for a bit.
You got more tangos headed your way.
And now there would be a whole like section of fighting through this hallway here. But if you run past everyone and you reach the end, all the enemies just kind of die. Like there's a trigger that makes them die, so it looks like they're dying of cringe. Just like they just fall in place. It's very funny. And that's gonna happen in more places later on as well.
Routing through the auxiliary circuit.
Should be a guy here, yeah. And then everyone else I can just go through, just making my way to the end. That's a lot of enemies in the doorway.
Recommend you bypass.
If you see, everyone dies. Well, you didn't see it, but you can hear it. They just kind of die. So now I'm gonna use the bit of tech again that I described earlier, where if I am stunned by like some kind of bombardment or like a rocket, being flashbanged will take me out of it earlier. So I'm just gonna flashbang myself again. I'm gonna be able to get out of it. That wasn't super fast, but it was fast enough.
The Navy isn't in a talking mood right now. Stand by.
Anyway, the Navy is bombing us, kind of, just because they're impatient, I
They've agreed to
guess.
stop firing for now. Keep going.
Makes a lot of sense. And now here is the famous breach and clear section that I'm sure everyone remembers fondly.
To breach the wall to get in.
Not really. So what I want to do is just get through in whichever way, probably with a grenade launcher. Not get meleeed, and this is pretty bad already, and I am totally gonna die. This is a miracle. Hold on, I can't jump down just yet because otherwise I'll die. This is fine. Okay, I have no idea how I got through that, but I was really, really lucky. Thank you, thank you.
I've detected 2 heat signatures.
Skill,
One of
only
them should
skill.
be prisoner 627.
And now we're gonna find Captain Price. You remember him, like old war-scarred man, you know, like big beard and all that. This guy. Oh, okay. Anyway, now we find out that McTavish is called Soap. Well, you only find out if you didn't play the game before. But hey. There's a strat here that's really, really annoying to do, where you can get in front of them and reach the end of that hallway earlier, and that causes them to turn back earlier and saves a little bit of time, but I have never once in my life managed to get in front of them a significant enough amount. So, yeah. And they're kind of like built so that you can't get past them. They kind of try to keep you in bounds. There's a guy there. Going more. And this is the mission done. It's yet another cutscene that we have to wait for. But hey, I mean, it's basically a cutscene. It's a glorified cutscene. We're gonna get a rock on our head shortly. We're also gonna teleport. Like if you die somewhere else, you just teleport, which is really funny. Like I was on a table and all of a sudden I'm here, but hey. And then we get this epic moment where Soap saves us all with one flare. because that's totally how it works. Also, I kind of forgot to mention this at the beginning, but the game is capped at 250 FPS because the physics are somewhat frame dependent, and so not having the FPS capped would allow for some skips to be done or to be easier, and so it basically became pay to win from what I understood, and so they just set the rule to cap the FPS to 250. And now we're gonna play this other mission, which is called Of Their Own Accord, which is pretty fun in my opinion. I really like it. It has some cool strategies, but also it's really long, and one half of it is a cutscene once again. So it's kind of a glorified movie of a game. Then we're just gonna strafe through these trenches. We are, by the way, in Washington DC, and the Russians have invaded. They're destroying everything, of course. And so we are going to try and liberate well, the capital area, I guess. I'll stray through here as best as I can. I don't need to kill anyone, but I will try and at least stun a few enemies so that they don't melee me. I need these guys on the stairs. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 3. I'm not sure what causes that. Not my best strafing, not gonna lie. Now we're gonna try and... so there's gonna be like a whole squad of enemies. I'm gonna try and kill the first one here. Get this shotgun and then just try and like make my way through everyone else. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. Okay, good enough. Not the fastest, but at least I didn't die, which is definitely slower than just being a little slow. Just gonna get through, and we have to reach the top floor of this building. And we can ignore most of everyone here, but then there's an area that we will have to clear. So what's happening here is basically the enemies are shooting at like an evacuation site from the top of this building, and we need to stop them and try and help the evacuation site. I'm just gonna try and clear a little bit here. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that's really tragic. Oh well. Anyway, let's try that again. Get this guy's P90, please. Hello. Hello, there we go. Just try that again. There is a really cool strat to kill all the enemies that are in the so-called crow's nest, which is where they're shooting from, which is the one place you have to clear for the mission to proceed. But killing everyone before that, like all of these enemies, is very convenient for me for a strat that I'm gonna do later. So let me just try and be a little bit more careful. And also sometimes in the darkness and like in the low brightness of this game, you just don't see enemies, so you just walk past someone and then they melee you from the back, which is kind of annoying. I'm just gonna throw one grenade, or random grenade launcher rather, and that should have killed everyone except for that guy, I guess. Gonna start sniping, and I'm gonna have to do this really fast, so I'm gonna try and kill 4 guys, and they're all running, of course, which makes it a little bit harder. So after I kill 4 of them, I guess not that guy, this guy, there we go. I'm gonna pick up my claymore mines, and I'm gonna start laying them out, because enemies are coming. And this is gonna clear them really, really fast, instead of having to have a whole gunfight. If you look in the top left, you'll see the game kind of assigning objectives and then realizing I've already completed them and just trying to catch up with me. So basically I'm just trying to be faster than the objective here. As you can see, all the mines stripped. And now Overlord is saying that line of dialogue, so that's good for me. And once Sergeant Foley says negative, negative, blah blah blah, I can start shooting. And I have to shoot 3 enemy vehicles. And to do it the fastest, I will shoot 2 BRTs, which are these tanks, and then 1 helicopter. Because the helicopter takes significantly less to just get destroyed. And so the mission will progress earlier. I did that successfully.
Well done.
Very
Now
well.
get your ass to the base after in danger of
And
being
now
overrun.
we're about to reach the glorified cutscene, which is really, really long. And yeah, I guess it's the nature of this game. It's got a lot of auto-scrollers. To be fair, it's pretty cool if you're playing it casually, but if you have to speedrun it and it's the 10th time you've been through here on the same day, it kind of gets annoying. But yeah, it's a really cool casual experience. If you haven't played it, I am kind of spoiling it for you, but I recommend you pick it up anyways. Bad thing about the COD games though, even the really old ones, like this came out in 2008 and it's still almost full price. So, yeah.
Nintendo
But yeah,
called.
welcome to...
Nintendo called. They want their pricing model back.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Like, this is probably like 30, 40 pounds on Steam right now, which is a lot. But you can find keys for nothing. Also play this, don't play the new one. This is better. So I could shoot everyone here, but like, I don't have to. So, it doesn't really matter what I do or don't.
Would you like me to read a couple donations while we're at it?
Sure.
All right. Well, I do have one that I accidentally pressed read on a little while ago. It's $20 from Viper saying, "Let's go, Eris. Also, good luck to all the runners and staff who make this marathon possible." And thank you very much, Viper, for those 20 bucks. We also have $5 from John of Duty.
Oh my god, no!
Saying, John of Duty here. Good luck on the run, sir. And remember, to do good, you gotta do some bad. Which has gone to the alternative ending for Baba Is You Blindfolded. And I must protest here because you'd think from, well, Metal Gear Solid 3, it has, well, we all know it has some lovely guns. Call of Duty has guns. MGS3, you climb ladders. In Call of Duty, we saw you climb the ladder at some point. Yes.
Yeah.
So why not give the MGS3 incentive some love as well? We just need $60 for that, which would take us to $1,300 and $1,350. So by all means, keep those donations coming. Let's get that incentive met. Let's make some people very happy. Back to you, Eris.
Thank you. I keep asking tech to turn the game down in my ears because I swear it keeps getting louder. Huh? Yeah, game. Yeah. Well, good I said that, I guess. Yeah, this is perfect. So, you'd think this was like actual gameplay, but I can just not do anything and it will be fine and it will be just as fast. But the good thing that after this, my favorite mission comes, so we're gonna have some fun. A lot of people are gonna kind of think I have questionable taste, but hey, I like the next mission. So. Also, I just realized they have like glowing in the dark eyes, which are really, really creepy when it's dark, but hey. Anyway, we're back as Roach. And our incredible plot armor. Oh yeah, everyone has like insane plot armor in this. They survive just about anything. So the start of this mission is supposed to be stealth, and you already know where this is going. So that guy just became an Olympic sprinter in 2 seconds. That was terrible. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine. Gonna look for an AK-47. There we go. Because it's fast. And it's an AK-47, which is always good. And there's this convoy of people here that I have to kill, and I have to make sure none of the cars catch fire, because otherwise Price, who is my escort here, following me, is gonna wait for them to explode. So the fast thing is to just make them explode yourself. And there's these guys here. Then if Price says the line... Oh, the line... That one, there we go. Then it means that we've cleared everything. And if it doesn't say it and we advance, actually I'm not sure what causes it, but there is a chance that a massive softlock happens here, and there's no way to find out until like the end of the mission, where the mission just doesn't end, and that loses you, well, the whole time it took you to do the mission. So it's pretty brutal, but it's never happened to me, and surely it will not happen now on a marathon stage, right? So now we are supposed to be sneaking around, but obviously I'm just gonna hop through, and there is like a route I can take that causes no one to notice me, and I'm just not gonna strafe it just to be able to stay on the correct path, because I'm not that good at strafing. Being caught doesn't really do much besides lose you some time, because Price is just gonna be slower, and the mission end trigger is Price getting to a submarine. So a little bit of story. Price said to the whole task force 141, hey, there's like this submarine in Siberia and I kinda need to get into it. It doesn't say why. And you'll find out why. And you also find out why he didn't tell anyone why, but everyone just trusts him, I guess. But yeah, more on that later. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up this MG. I'm just gonna cut across here, ignore everyone except this group of enemies that I will find in front of me. Just gonna kill them all. Very good. And then I'm gonna use the first Predator missile, and I'm gonna throw it here so that I destroy both the helicopter and the Jeep. I'm gonna pick up this. Just gonna continue. Now there's gonna be a whole bunch of like sequences that I have to do, which are pretty fun, and I really like doing them. And they're pretty forgiving also, so this is not like a mission where you can lose a terrible amount of time very easily, unless obviously you soft lock, but that's another thing. I'm gonna loosely clear up the map. Then I'm gonna come here and use a Predator missile on like just the biggest group of enemies I can find quickly. Not too important, but I'm just gonna help my teammates a little bit. I'm gonna clear up here a little bit. I'm gonna go up this building, get this ammo, destroy that Jeep. That's the first vehicle I'm gonna destroy. From now on, this is basically like a vehicle destruction drill. That's an ally, obviously. I'm not going out of my way to kill enemies, but if I see them and they're like kind of in reach, I will kill them, because that just helps my teammates. And also it helps me not having an enemy right next to me. I'm gonna wait for these two trucks to come through the gate, literally. Just gonna destroy them one by one. And that also kills all the enemies inside, obviously. Gonna go through this gate, go back, and that spawns that vehicle. Very good. This is actually really good. And I'm gonna use a Predator drone on both of these vehicles, so I'm gonna get a 2-in-1. And that voice line confirms it, and then I'm gonna start backtracking. So at this point, Price could well be one of them. No, I guess not. Usually you'd be able to recognize him, but you know, there's something up with my game. I'm just gonna open the Predator to make sure that all the enemies are dead, which looks like it is, so I clear the whole map. Now I'm just gonna go back to the previous area, and that's gonna skip a whole lot of dialogue at the end. So it's gonna make the mission end a little bit faster, unless I soft lock. So Price says that line, and then there will be a whole lot of dialogue. There will be like 3 minutes of dialogue. We're gonna have none of that, just a little bit of a wait. But the fact that the game says objective completed in the corner is a good sign, and now Price is gonna say good, and the mission ends. And what he's doing is he is launching an ICBM, like a nuclear missile, on the United States to help the United States win the war. He's clearly been in the Gulag too long, and he's lost his mind. There we go. You might be able to see the missile. Yeah, there you go. You see it take off. Anyway, turns out he actually does help the US win the war with the nuclear missile. Not quite in the way you'd expect, but you'll see it now. Anyway, we're back in the US, speaking of, as Ramirez, and we just relived the scene that the previous mission just left us with. So it's a little bit of a flashback, which means more cutscene, but... Oh, hey, yo. Private Wade dies, unfortunately, twice. I don't actually have to shoot anyone, but I might as well make it a little bit more entertaining. Yeah, we're just gonna wait for this sequence to play out, and then we're gonna switch to another character in quite the peculiar situation. You'll see in a minute. And I think a lot of people remember this bit of level for how epic it was casually, but in the speedrun it's just slow. Does anyone remember this? you're in space all of a sudden. I was very confused when I was 9, because obviously I couldn't follow the story, which is like very complex. But anyway, at least you're in space, and even though the war is at war, no one can do anything to you, because you're in space, right? Surely. Anyway, that's the missile that Price launches. We just have to look at it, admire it, I guess. So I'll just let this play out. It's kind of epic.
Copy that, ISS. Video feed from Sat-1 is clear. Sat-1, keep tracking the bogey. We're looking into it. Stand by.
Also, the astronaut is an anime for one, I just realized. The one guy that was spared.
ISS Houston, stand by. We may have a problem here.
Anyway, I lied about astronaut plot armor. It's not real. This guy dies a terrible death, but hey. And here we are back on Earth. That's the missile that explodes. And that basically causes an EMP, which disables everything. I don't know if this is like scientifically accurate, probably not, but anyway, everything falls from the sky. So now we have to B-hop across the street, and we have a massive speed nerf, but that doesn't really matter. And it also doesn't matter that we're fast. We just have to be fast enough so that this tank doesn't explode immediately next to me. So I can either be fast enough or slow enough, but like no in between. But that was fine. I was able to be fast enough. Also, cool detail, there was an EMP, so electronics don't work, so my red dot sight doesn't work anymore. That's pretty cool attention to detail. And now we just get our ammo back, because obviously we have gameplay to do. And we got a secondary, which is nice. And this mission is just kind of slow. This is the worst mission in the game, in my opinion, for the speedrun. You have a speed nerf the whole time, so you are pretty slow. You can't really do anything to gain time, and you can do just about everything to lose a lot of time. So like dying anywhere is lethal, and it's pretty easy to die. There's kind of like a kind of brutal section. You just have to run through enemies in the dark. It's actually terrifying, but we'll get through it, I'm sure. So now we just come here and we wait. Doesn't matter how fast I was. This is literally like depending on their pace, which is kind of a recurring theme in this game, and just in Call of Duty in general. It's always your teammates that you have to wait for.
I can read a quick message if we have a moment.
Or two.
Or two. Well, first of all, I'd like to alert you all towards our prizes for this event. We have 2 prizes: a displate poster of your choosing, a medium size, of course, and a UKSG Classic zipped hoodie that is size large. And to get into the draw for either of these, you need to donate upwards of $20 throughout this event. And yeah, so basically Viper, who donated 20 earlier, you're in the draw for both of these prizes, so that's great. And if you want to join Viper with a chance to win some lovely, lovely stuff, then go ahead and get some donations in. You could help change the fate of the Devil May Cry incentive. Currently, it's Devil May Cry 2 in first place with $146, Devil May Cry 3 with $115, Devil May Cry 1 not that far behind. So, if your favorite DMC game is not 2, maybe you should get a move on here to get one of the other options into first place. And, of course, maybe win some lovely prizes. But yeah, back to you, Eris.
Thank you. So what I did there, you might have seen me just throw grenades into the window. That actually just kills enemies that are pre-spawned in, and that helps me quite a bit. And I'm actually getting through this pretty clean. This guy is a menace, but yeah, that was the cleanest Second Son office I ever got, and also the least scary somehow. Bro. So now we're just getting through. We have to do a bit of a gunfight here in the dark, which is really annoying because it's actually just dark and you can't see, and you have to use like lightning and small light sources to tell where the enemies are. Just see their silhouettes. But basically I'm gonna try and clear the street as fast as possible so that my teammates just shout street clear, and that's my cue that everyone is dead and I can proceed. Is that a guy? Yes. Oh, it was. I cannot see anything, I swear. There we go, but they said street clear. That's my cue to proceed. I can just go in. Just gonna make sure that they're there. Yep. So now I get full running speed, which kind of needed earlier, but hey. And now we wait. Again. Oh, never mind. I went too early. Too fast, too slow, never okay though. Sir?
Oh no.
It's fine, I think.
Oh no.
Don't tell me I have to last checkpoint. Yeah, I did it anyway. Not a big deal. Not the biggest time loss in this mission. There is totally a way to know like when you're supposed to go, by the way. I just kind of forgot. And I think watch for movement is the cue line here. Are you stuck again? Hello? Sir? Sergeant? Hello?
Earth
Yep.
to Sergeant Foley.
Just gonna try and not accidentally restart mission, because that would be devastating. What I did earlier at the beginning of the game. I'm just gonna follow him. You know what? Let's play the game.
Watch for movement.
There we go, he said the line. I think that's the cue. I swear I know how to play this. But what should happen is that they just teleport. No? Huh? Sir? Okay. I'm just gonna follow him.
Let's go.
I give up. You win, Sergeant Foley. With glow-in-the-dark eyes.
Watch for movement.
He needs to say move up. But like, he's not saying it. Okay. I'm gonna do a dialogue reenactment and then just load the next mission, because this is the end. So, you get here and you see the seal in this door, and Corporal then is like, whoa, it's like a bunker, and you're like, yeah, cool, open it, and that's the mission. Anyway.
Enthralling gameplay, incredible.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, just we skip dialogue, I guess. Anyway, next mission is this. Anyway, Whiskey Hotel, which stands for WH, which is the White House. It took me many, many years to figure that out. But yeah, luckily you can wiggle your way out of soft blocks in this game. Obviously it's not like allowed on the leaderboards, but in a marathon setting I can just load in and the game will work just fine, which is pretty convenient. So I'm just gonna sprint across the lawn here. That's the White House, by the way. Pretty cool. And I'm just waiting for Corporal Dunn here. There he is, just teleports. I want better guns. Like that, sure. Now we're gonna wedge ourselves in here. Well, basically what the Air Force... Whoa, okay, rude. Oh, come on. Anyway, what the Air Force is saying is that if you do not deploy green flares on top of the building in a number of minutes, we will just level it, because it's been overrun by the enemy. I am doing this incredibly slow, but at least I'll get through it, I guess. And so that's our mission, save the White House from being leveled. But I can't save myself first, so I guess. This is a pretty common spot to die. Also, I've never seen that guy come out of that door before. But hey, there's always a first, I guess. Like soft locking in the previous mission. Hey. So, I don't really have to kill anyone here. I just need to get through, because once I get to the end, everyone will die of cringe on the spot. and just clear the whole area. There you go, they're all dead. And now we wait, again, for our teammates. Sergeant Foley, who is, by the way, don't know if anyone noticed, he is the same voice actor as the president from Rick and Morty. He will just come here and then disappear and we'll never see him again. Like literally, this is the last we see of Sergeant Foley. Just pops out of thin air, and that's because I just ran past really fast. But he still kicks the door down in spirit. Anyway, that's Corporal done. Just gonna get myself some fast guns to fight my way through. There's Foley. Bye, Foley. There's a guy here that I have to kill. Well, I don't have to, but if I don't kill him, he'll kill me. Like John of Duty said. There we go. About that. And I have to wait for them again. Incredible.
I can talk a little bit about the charity we're raising money for.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we are raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. 90% of your donations will go towards supporting Crisis, and 10% will go towards UKSG's future events. And let me give you a little bit more information about what they do in their own words as they provided them to us. So, Crisis is the national charity for homeless people. We are committed to ending homelessness. Every day, we see the devastating impact homelessness has on people's lives. We bring together a unique volunteer effort each Christmas to bring warmth, companionship, and vital services to people at one of the hardest times of the year and offer a starting point out of homelessness. Thank you all for donating. We've reached nearly $1,300, and I'm sure we would all be really excited to hit that 2K and beyond. So let's not hold up on our donations for such an amazing cause. Keep them coming. Let's meet some incentives. Let's get some lovely extra content here for UKSG. Back to you, Eris.
Thank you. I just saved the White House. What have you done today? Anyway. Kidding. But yeah, we get to
Is UKSG not enough to you?
it's enough. Third to last mission. Does anyone remember how this ends? I sure don't. Anyway. Sure, nothing bad happened. As I said, I'm sure nothing bad will happen to me. Yeah, please clip that and send it to me. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is b-hop. I might be dead. No, I'm fine. B-hop through the minefield just to get ahead, and then flash myself so I can get out of the stun lock. Well, mostly anyway. Now I can just b-hop through the enemies without a care in the world. Whoa, okay, rude. Anyway, we're gonna go into the house and we're gonna start breaching a whole bunch. So the first breach you can cancel by just reloading. So I'm gonna shoot the first guy, reload, and then that will cancel the slow motion of the breach. So the first guy is here, shoot him, reload, cancel the reload. Get his gun, kill this guy, get his gun because it's faster, kill these guys. You have to clear the house. Like, I cannot ignore enemies anymore. Gonna breach again. Do a quick swap to cancel the slow motion. And then kill these guys and kill that guy. Make sure everyone's dead. Gonna whip out the grenade launcher. Plop everyone in the living room. And then clear a little bit of the basement here. And here's some interesting tech. So this breach you cannot cancel. What you can do though is turn around, go to the other door and breach that before the slow motion of this one ends, which is not looking good for me right now. And that will cause that slow motion to just not happen, which I think I got. Yes, so you see this is at normal speed, which is terrifying because it's not designed for you to react at normal speed. And hopefully the house is clear. If my teammates did anything. Nope. As always. There's probably some guy in the grass, and that counts as like the house not being clear. Well, there we go, all clear. So now what I'm gonna do is just go in the armory, and the characters have a whole lot of like gameplay dialogue here, like, oh, you should probably use this mine in this location, you know, like when they try to sneak instructions into gameplay. Anyway, I'm just gonna mine the basement. You can kind of do this however you want, but I like to mine the basement because that's what the world record holders tutorial told me to do.
Everything you can for an operations playbook. Names, contacts, places.
But yeah, you just have to wait again for 5 minutes and 20 seconds for data to download from like the computer. It doesn't really matter if you clear everyone or not. When the time ends, you can leave. So I am gonna just play it out a little bit. So as you can see, it's kind of behind the velocity text, but you will be able to see like the progress, and I will have to pay attention and not forget about it, because you want to be here when it ends so you can grab the thing immediately. Anyway, we will enjoy our prot armor. Me and Ghost have unbreakable, Ghost right here, unbreakable plot armor, so nothing bad will ever happen to us, I'm sure. And yeah, just get to kill some bad guys for 5 minutes 20 seconds.
You said that once before, at least.
The plot armor?
Yeah, it cannot go badly.
Yeah, it will not go badly at all.
I am starting to have my doubts.
Have you played this?
Yes, no,
No.
I did not.
No. Have you guys played this? Yeah, I heard a bunch of people saying that they were quite excited to watch this because they remember playing this. So thank you for everyone that showed up behind me. So we're just gonna do some sniping like the good old days. But yeah, we are essentially waiting. And we have to actually defend the module. Like, if it gets destroyed, we fail. But it's not usually an issue. You can just camp it out if you really want to, but it's kind of boring. Also, Ozone died immediately. Usually doesn't die. But yeah, we're just gonna spend our time killing people here. Also, this was one of many multiplayer maps. Some people loved it, some people hated it. I kind of liked it, but you know, leave it to the community of this game to have a debate. As you can see, the connection is kind of slow because we are downloading 2,000 files at. Does it say the speed? Yes, but it's behind the recruit. Oh well. It's not very fast though. It's like kilobytes per second. You can tell this game is old. But yeah, another auto-scroller. I can also listen to the mines going off in the basement to know that there's people in the basement. And also, my teammates are actually calling out things, which was like a pretty cool feature this game had. It was called Battle Chatter, but like your teammates and also like other players in multiplayer mode, they will call out like enemy placements for you, and they're pretty accurate, and they have like a lot of possible callouts they can do, so it's actually quite a complex system, and I think it was one of the selling points of this game. It's actually quite impressive, even for today, I would say. And also they do like callouts to each other. It's pretty cool, like you can listen to them like acknowledge each other and then act upon it, even though they don't have like amazing aim or anything, but it's still a pretty cool mechanic that they have. So yeah, we're about halfway through the file transfer, but there's nothing I can do again to make it go faster or slower. I mean, I guess dying would make it slower, but I'm not gonna do that, because why would I? And also you can listen to the enemies do callouts, and they always do it in Russian or Portuguese, depending on what mission you're playing. But you can like hear them with directional audio, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty useful too. And I'm sure the callouts are accurate, but I can't really understand them. You didn't play this, Polyster, then?
Unfortunately, I did not. My first Call of Duty game was Black Ops 2.
Oh, that's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
It's late, yeah, like someone said, but it's still pretty good.
RPG team moving in from the east. I have eyes on additional hostile forces moving in on your position. They're approaching through the solar panels east of the house.
But yeah, I'm just basically jumping around, having fun. killing bad guys.
As the files get copied at a speed of recruit per second.
Yeah, recruit per second.
Yeah.
If you play on veteran, they go slower. No, I'm kidding. But
Would you like me to keep going with a few things about Crisis? in the
yeah,
meantime?
sure, whatever you got.
Absolutely. So, folks, let me talk to you a little bit about the services that Crisis provides. We support people out of homelessness for good. We do this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. We offer one-to-one support, advice, and courses for homeless people in 12 areas across England, Scotland, and Wales. And we carry out pioneering research into the causes and consequences of homelessness and campaign for the changes needed to end it for everyone for good. We are just $10 away from hitting 1,300, and I'm sure someone out of the kindness of their heart can help us get there. So just a little $10 donation, and let me tell you, Crisis and myself will be very grateful. I personally will be very grateful for having something to read here. So please, !donate, and we can make it happen. Back to you, Eris.
Yeah, donate $1 for every file we copied, please. Anyway, we explode. I think we trip a mine. I'm not actually too sure. But anyway, we have plot armor. Again, I keep stressing this point. Can't imagine why. But yeah, we survived the mine. We are being dragged. I don't have to kill anyone. You can't really die. Maybe you can in veteran. I'm not too sure. But anyway, this is once again a cutscene. I guess a glorified one. But luckily for us, General Shepard is coming to get us to the rescue. And here he is. I kind of hate that I have the anime mode on for this, but yeah, it's fine. Also, the Shadow Company is also anime, and that's gonna backfire later. Anyway, oh no! Betrayal. Yeah, just don't look. Anyway, Shepard betrays us because, as it turns out, he is responsible for everything. It was all a conspiracy. Conspiracy. Who would have guessed? Who would have thunk? Anyway, we're dead, even though we're looking around. And that's Ghost, he's also dead. This is so stupid. This is really sad, like everyone is very much upset that they killed them off like this. You will see YouTube comments like, this is where the real men cried and all that. Also, the cigarette is like not scaled to the model. So, but oh well. So as it turns out, oh no, Shepard is the bad guy. And we're gonna do something about that, I'm sure. And now, for the first time in this game, we play as Soap, who was always with us in the mission, but now we are Soap with Price, which is kind of a callback to the previous game. It's very cool. So now we played this mission, which is all strafing and just avoiding enemies. As you can see, you know how I said, oh, the Shadow Company is also anime because they're friendly? Yeah, so the Shadow Company is not friendly anymore, but they're still anime characters. That makes them much skinnier, much smaller, much harder to see sometimes. So that totally comes back to bite me, but I will make do. I don't have to kill anyone here, just someone that gets in the way, like these guys. And then I'm gonna play fast enough so that the dialogue stacks up and kind of stops making sense. Because I think characters have to respect the order of their own dialogue, but they don't have to respect each other's order. So they will just like reply to questions that haven't been asked yet, that kind of thing. So it will make no sense. But what's happening is that Price decides to try and contact Makarov, who is the big bad guy that obviously gets killed. Gets killed in the third episode. Spoilers, sorry. But yeah, and Makarov is like, yeah, this is where Shepard is hiding, go kill him, please. And we say, yes sir, because we also want to kill him. And so that's what we do. Anyway, that's Price, which I swear changed model. That's Rook, I think my favorite character in the whole game. Very cool task force soldier. We don't have to kill anyone here. Maybe I should though, oh my god. It's also pretty hard to hit people, to be fair. But yeah, these cars are scripted to crash or explode, so nothing I do really changes the outcome. But yeah, Rook, my man, is gonna take us to safety in a minute, into this plane. I love you, Rook. Oh no, Rook is dead, anyway. We take the wheel, I guess. Soap takes the wheel. And we just try and slot the car into the plane. I've missed it once. Not fun. It's not hard either, but, you know. And this is the last mission, sort of. So the game breaks it into 3, but technically it's the last segment where we go to Shepard's hiding spot and we try and kill him. So I'm gonna try and do a little bit of tech here. I'm gonna kill one guy and then kind of delay how I kill the rest of the team. That was kind of slow already. And if I do it correctly, Price will take no stops in his path. That was definitely not done correctly. Let me try that again. I have time, it's fine. I think.
Don't concern me just yet.
I will not concern you. It can't go that wrong, right?
Listen. Listen.
I will finish this run.
Okay.
So we quick scope this guy like the good old days. Tell me he's not dead. Tell me I just legged him. Okay, that might have been good. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up another SMG, and if Price doesn't take cover, I did it properly. And I didn't do it properly. Amazing. So what I wanted to happen was Price just sprinting all the way instead of doing all of this tactical stuff that it really doesn't need to do, because there's clearly no one around and I'm already here. Just gonna spam the use key to start rappelling down. Then I'm just gonna hold my melee key to melee the enemy as fast as possible, and I'm not gonna break, because I don't need to. Also, this doesn't scale, I guess. But yeah. And now we're gonna stealthily make our way through the bunker. Try not get spotted. You already know what's about to happen. Anyway. And we're gonna get another trick where everyone dies of cringe on command. So by walking through this doorway, looking down, everyone just dies. I don't know why, but it's so funny. They just kind of collapse. And now the same thing will happen here. It's just a little bit harder to do. So I like to throw a flashbang and then just kind of spray and pray. And then if I make my way through, look down, hopefully. Okay, everyone died but the guy that killed me, obviously. But luckily the checkpoint is forgiving enough. Thing is, enemies that are not completely dead, even if they're like struggling or like on the ground in what we call last stand, which is where they're like just laying down with a pistol, they have like collision and they will not let you through. Like you cannot walk over them. Gonna get this MG, and now this is possibly the worst bit of the game. This either goes perfectly the first try or it goes wrong 10 times. But what I want to do is basically line... Amazing, as I said. Is line myself up with this big group of enemies and try and shoot them all down fast enough so I can get to a door to breach it before anyone catches up to me and basically makes the game think, what did I die to? That I cannot breach because some enemies are still alive. I don't know if that made any sense how I explained it, but basically I need to kill enemies fast. And if I don't kill them fast enough, I need to kill everyone else, which is really annoying. This is totally not gonna work, and that guy meleeed me from a mile away. That's also a problem with the slight game modification I'm playing with, is that the melee is like not scaled, so it looks like they're just hitting you from a range. But this might be good, maybe. No, obviously. Oh, that guy is good. Nope. Also gets pretty hard to play when you have just jelly on your screen all the time, but also my strafing is kind of not up to par today, but hey. This might be good. Never mind. Well, I told you, it's either first try or 10th try, so start counting, I guess. Yeah, one for every fail.
Has somebody kept count in chat? How many is this now? I'm getting 4 from the audience.
4. I think it's more, but I'll take it. Okay, this pray. There we go. Nice.
Unfortunately, the minimum donation total is 5, so we're gonna need to round that up then.
Yeah, 500, I guess. Yeah.
You didn't fail enough, Eris. What?
Sorry. So I needed to be careful here because shooting the barrels will actually cause them to explode, and obviously you die, so it's not good. Anyway, as it turns out, Shepard is kind of insane, so he's just gonna bomb his own men. He's going to get out, obviously. Price is right behind me. He should be in front, but he's behind me because I was really, really fast. Well, not really, but you know, I was faster than him. And now Shepard is like, well, I made my whole base with all my men inside explode. Well, let's go further. Let's bomb the outside of the base where the rest of my men are. But we don't care. We just start strafing into the bombing run. Doesn't really affect us. Kill that guy because he otherwise would have collision. And that's it for this mission. And we just have the last chase, which hopefully some of you remember from the good old days. And not a lot can go wrong here. Dude. The game just crashed. As I say, not a lot can go wrong here except for the game crashing, but gameplay-wise, it's pretty easy.
Not a lot can go wrong except for the stuff that already did.
That already did, yeah.
And is currently going wrong.
Yeah. And my sensitivity just reset, but that's fine because I don't need to aim anymore. Yippee! And now we're chasing Shepard. And yeah, this is very much like the snowmobile section, except a little bit harder, I guess. It's not really hard. I have aimbot basically. Like, I just kind of have to shoot in the general direction of people and they will die. The only thing that is really a problem is rocket launchers. They can, well, they can't kill you, I guess. They can slow you down, and they can speed you up depending on like where they hit. But yeah, you just kind of need to get lucky if you want to have a really, really fast boat section here. But I'm not gonna count it. I'm just gonna chase Shepard. So obviously the most decorated US general has to resort to running away on a dinghy because Call of Duty logic, you know. And he has a whole army of anime girls to his disposal, I guess, and none of them can stop us because, you know, Call of Duty. Same logic as like, oh, the helicopter came to get you, but it's low on fuel. Like, no one ever pays their fuel bill in this game. Fuel bill? You know what I mean. Anyway. What? Huh? Huh? What? Okay. I gotta finish one run, yeah?
You can do it, Eris. Chat. Chat, give Eris your energy. Let's do this.
Well, give me the energy to not get hit by stray bullets here. But yeah, there's not much else I can do. I'm literally holding W and like driving, and that's like the run is pretty much over.
I do have a donation in the meantime.
Yes, please.
All right, we have $10 from the person currently on tech, Eric the Lemur, saying, I hope you all don't mind being subjected to my tech shift, and let's hope nothing breaks horribly. While I've got Paulister reading this, you should all go check out WASD, or Warwick Speedrunning, for another cool marathon in the UK. And it's warwickspeed.run. And I'm not biased, trust me, bro. That is all the donation message. But yeah, indeed, there's lots of lovely events here in the UK. We have, besides UKSG, of course, we have UKSM. We also have WASD doing some fantastic work. So yeah, of course, let's spread the love best as we can and support all of these events here. Now those $10 are going towards, well, 50-50 split, $5 towards the maid outfit for Guild Wars 2. I wonder why. And another $5 for the alternative ending in Baba Is You, which is getting quite a decent amount of traction here. We're at $35 out of 300. So keep those donations coming and we can maybe get that incentive met for some more blindfolded action from Ruffled Bricks. But yeah, it's back to you, Eris.
Thank you. Yeah, we're about to defy all logic. I finally made it to almost the end. You see this, you know, giant war helicopter? Yeah, it's gonna take 3 bullets to take it down. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That makes sense. And then we fall down the waterfall because obviously we need the dramatic ending. And now we are approaching the end. It's gonna be like a few minutes left, which means that I am finally going underestimate. Not as much as I thought I would, but still. I have claws all of a sudden? What? Why do I have claws?
We interrupt this playthrough of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 to bring you Sonic Unleashed.
So what I'm doing now is just spamming A and D while holding W, and that makes me go a little faster. And also I should probably go in the right direction to finish the game. But what I'm gonna try and do is, so General Shepard is just gonna stumble past me, and I'm gonna try and stab him, and I cannot hit him, but the game kind of makes me lunge, and that makes me kind of keep up with him a little more. And that's fast. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, you see I'm like lunging into him. That's pretty good. That was actually pretty good. And now it's, you guessed it, another cutscene where we almost die. And just the whole like bad guy monologue.
5 years ago, I lost 30,000 men in the blink of an eye.
I guess he also lost the eye because he has an eye patch, but
Fucking watched. Tomorrow, there will be no shortage of volunteers, no shortage of patriots.
and I guess that's it for us. But wait, Captain Price comes and saves the day, of course. Let's go and get the gun. Surely, that's how it's gonna end, right? Nope. Anyway, this is a pretty legendary ending sequence. Also, my body is completely glitched out, but ignore that. The knife is in me. Just a little bit of imagination. Time is about to come up, by the way, so just be ready for that. What I'm gonna be doing here is just spam E, but I can't spam it too fast, otherwise I'll die, and I can't spam it too slow, otherwise I'll die, so I just kind of know how fast to mash it. And it's not very fast, so just keep mashing till the end. And when I throw the knife, it's time. Ready? And time. Thank you. Woo! I finished! Yeah!
The curse is lifted!
There's no elephants in this.
Man.
There's worse, but you know. Well, I guess I gotta close this, don't I? Okay, so big thanks to the Call of Duty community for making the tutorials. Very cool, very informative. They have one Discord server for every COD speedrun, which is a lot of games, and it's a lot of text channels. I don't know, man. This game is awesome. You should play it. Big part of my childhood, and I think a lot of other people. I was definitely too young to play this when I played it, but oh hey, what can you do? Yeah, and even here, like a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, I remember playing it a long time ago." So I guess it's cool that I showed it. I don't think you guys ever had COD. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen COD like anywhere on a marathon. First time here.
This
There
is
you go.
the first Call of Duty run at the UKSG.
Anyway, yeah, this is the ending. So that's it. I'm done.
Well, very good. Thank you very much, Eris. Would you like us to hold for it, or shall we just...
Shall we give credit to the developers? They're kind of legends.
Yeah, go for it. If you have any further shout-outs, then by all means.
Shoutouts to Infinity Ward. That's it. I'm done.
There we go. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for a lovely Call of Duty run. Definitely. You finished the run!
I finished the run!
Amazing! And we've also hit $1,300, which is very nice.
Nice.
My wishes have been fulfilled. Now I have another wish. Let's hit $2,000, folks. Let's make it happen. But until that happens, we do have the next run, which is the Devil May Cry one. Now, we don't know which Devil May Cry it is going to be. Currently in the lead, it's the second one with $146, but you have the duration of the intermission to get those last donations in. And until that happens, get going. All right, quick intermission. We'll be right back. Keep those donations coming, folks.